Hello Roy, Michael here, and I just want to talk about some movies that I've watched recently. That should be fun. Haven't just never got the opportunity to talk about them, and I got like 4 movies that I have to talk about, kinda just been slacking. So, play some Hearthstone and talks about some movies. Alright, so I have multiple options. So, 1. I saw King Arthur Legend of the Sword. I saw Dunkirk. I saw The Disaster Artist. And I saw Coco, right? So I have 4 movies we can talk about. So let's start with let's start with King Arthur. I really like the mythology of King Arthur, like the King Arthur, no, the Merlin show is one of my favorites. Like it's probably my favorite show, TV show ever. Merlin. It's just so goddamn good. I love it, right? And you know, it was really interesting. I just watched. As people say, it was the worst movie of the year, which is complete another bullshit. It's been a bad year, but don't kid yourself. I thought it was pretty interesting. Like the style was so. I've never seen a movie from. I don't remember what the director's name was. Oh, Guy Ritchie, right? I never saw any of Guy Ritchie's movies before, so I was like, this was my first one, and man, did I love it! The style was so unique. It was great. Like I don't know what to expect. Like he has a very unique style. Like a very unique style. All right. Seems. Alright, how? Alright. And then boom. It's actually really interesting. Thing like I like how it was, because King Arthur's story we've been like a lot of people have used it and blah blah blah. Right. It's been something it's been shown in cinema a really long time in the TV series, so I thought the way of approaching this one was really interesting, and I really liked it. Especially like had like these slow-mo moments, with just something crazy would happen, and like, whoa, it's so cool, right? So yeah, I don't know why lots of people say it was really bad. In my opinion, I didn't really see much to like. Right, so there are things that something happened, and then it would get to something else really fast, right? Get to it like really fast without much explanation, like what the fuck happened, right? How did we get to this point? At some parts of the movie would really miss that, and like, well, you really need an explanation there, in my opinion, because, kind of like it went over it really fast. Some things were like, we did this, unexplained, and not really explained much afterwards. Kind of like see a bit of it. Things would happen like, whoa, what the fuck happened? Wait, how did that happen? Right? But the acting, I don't know who the actor is. Probably have a window open just to check that out. I have no clue who the actor is, but he did a great job. Especially the part with his people and talk to them. The part in the city, before he had a sword, those were also really great. With all the people around him, because he grew in a whorehouse, I guess you can call it. And yeah, I thought the music was nice. It was really produced really very well in like action scenes and transitions and all other things. Especially there's when talk about my point there. There's a part where he goes on an island, and it's like montage, song, music, and done. It's like, really? I mean, there are a couple of things that you could really take that one out. Maybe use a bit more in here. I can definitely say it's not a perfect movie. It's an above average okay movie, right? But for like King Arthur's story, it's very unique, and I overall really enjoy myself watching this style of making movies. It's really unique. Like I've never seen a style like this before, literally never. So it was really interesting to me. I enjoyed it a lot. So yeah, I mean, should probably not get too like much of a point getting too into um like the story specifics, because again it was a bit wonky. I had this king, you have Arthur's father has this sword, and you think he's gonna die at the start, but then crazy shit happens. He defeats a wizard, and there are a lot of things that they just skim through it. Like, oh, did you blink? Oh, shit, man, you missed that one. Which is was really fast over things. So kind of the introduction is kind of like, all right, I get the setup. You have like this scene that they keep going back to, and like they show a bit more, they show a bit more, they show a bit more. Now you understand it, and then at the end it all comes around when Arthur has to, no, he has to be the one who does it. Did what his father did, right? Sorry, not the best explanation ever. Yeah, overall, like, was really enjoyable. Like, this is a movie that is definitely, yeah, you should definitely give it a watch. Like, if you haven't seen Guy Ritchie stuff before, and I haven't, it's just really interesting. Right. Let's talk about Dunkirk. Because the other two I have a bit more to say about. Like, Dunkirk was like focusing on soldiers, but not on like, it kind of went around like a specific soldiers, but it was more about the army, right? It was about, it's kind of about the whole war. So on Dunkirk, there's these soldiers that are stuck on a beach and need evacuation, wrong word, and they're Americans. And the Germans are going in, and the French are on the line. They're defending. No, they're buying time for Americans to leave. Follow this group of soldiers, like everybody dies but one person, which is kind of like the main person we follow throughout the movie. And it really showed how fucking horrible war is. Like, people are just dying for like the weirdest fucking reasons. Like, it really showed how fragile life is and how disgusting war is. Like, it captured, like, I get like, oh, you were not invested. I was invested. I was invested in everybody. Like, I really wanted literally everybody to succeed, because it was such a unique thing. Like, I don't want that soldier to survive. I don't want that one. I wanted all the American soldiers to get out, right? It really made me care. Also, really made me, like, showed me the civilians, because the civilians also went in and helped. You see a boy who just really wanted to help with everything, like, hey, I want to help you, and he goes and he dies because they find a soldier kind of has like PTSD in a way, and it's like really like really intense, in like, wow, that is so scary, just thinking that that crap could happen, right? Not only that, like, the whole story was really interesting and really showed a lot of it. But when it came to like design, he also followed Tom Hardy's character, which is in a plane. And he's just going around like taking out German planes to protect the boats down there. And he loses his two partners. You know, they get rescued, and it's really showing like how intense it's like. Well, you're running out of fuel, so you either turn around and save your ass, get back to safety, or you stay here. And he did it. He stayed there, and he ran out of fuel. Like in the end, he managed to save a lot of people, and because he sacrificed himself. This is cancerous. Because he sacrificed himself to save everybody. He killed a lot like Germans, but in the end, well, he's running out of fuel, and so he can't like land the plane where all the Americans are to survive. So he has to land in German territory, and he burns down the plane because everybody left, and he gets captured, and that's really fucking sad because he's a goddamn hero. But no, that's war, right? Like somebody sacrificed himself to that much, and in the end, he like he paid for it. He paid because he saved lives, right? Which is like the craziest thing ever to just think about. Like, well, you saved everybody. Too bad, right?
I can see.
I really like his character. Didn't really talk much, right? A lot of people who were talking was this one soldier that's really young, and you can see like all of them are really young, and all of them are scared, and all of them are like, what the fuck are we doing here? We're just gonna all die. So scary. And the actions were like, had this like music, like there are parts where there would be no sound, it'd be like really intense, then like sound explosion, everything happens like you're there. It was so immersive and such an interesting experience that Christopher Nolan, like that was, you also have this to see this movie because it's just so unique. Like, haven't really seen a war drama that's not on like a particular. It was about everybody. It was so interesting, and the action was not only like so intense because you're like clenching the side of your seat, like what's happening? How is everything gonna be okay? Is it? And it kind of was. At the end, it was. Got nerfed. Kinda funny. But still getting destroyed. Oh, this is fun already. Yeah. Just a very unique experience that kind of have to experience for yourself. Like, I haven't watched this sort of movie, and so cool. Like Christopher Nolan, like he's a good director. Like you can't shut up. You can't say anything like he's not a good director. He's goddamn genius, right? And he's really making movies that you go and watch them at cinema and you feel like you're not there. It's crazy. Love it, right? Love it. Anyways, those were the movies that were like, alright, those were like really interesting and unique movies, right? How long have we been going for? Well, I opened Google and we didn't use it at all. Wow, this is just great. Okay, well, we have Disaster Artist. So I watched that one yesterday, and wow, I was not expecting that. Like, I've seen a lot of people like gush about The Room, and I kind of see. I haven't like actually sit down and watch the whole movie by myself. I would want to have somebody else with me. But it's just so interesting. Like Tommy Wiseau is such an interesting character. Like so mysterious, and like how did this happen? Like how the circumstance of the room happening, it's crazy. It's just the craziest shit ever. What was that? Huh? Okay, I got scared. Like, no, come on, go back to Hearthstone. Just how did this happen? And Tommy as a character is just so interesting because throughout this movie, The Disasters, you learn about him, his life that he showed us,
I must protect the wild.
and you know what hard things he went through. Like the mystery is so interesting, and the little things that we know about him are just so fascinating. Like they're mind blowing to me. Like this person did all of this. He is the sort of person that literally doesn't care about the world. Like the world hurt him so bad, he showed it the middle finger and did what he wanted to. Like he's the sort of person that, well, not exactly what he is, but his attitude towards life is so like fuck it. It's just great. Just not caring, living your life how you want. Like who cares for other people? Do it yourself. Well, we don't have $6 million, but god daily damn, that's some crazy ass shit to do. And it's like, I think like it's inspiring. Like, yeah, I don't have $6 million to do stuff, but well, he wanted it done, he did it. So crazy. Just his mystery. I fucking love Tommy. If I could be him, I goddamn would do it. And like, so great. Alright, now about the movie. Right. So, the movie was hilarious. Right? The movie itself was really funny. Like, I was laughing with like I couldn't stop laughing at some point. They were just so great, right? Like how the portrayal of Tommy was just like, holy shit, this is magnificent. Like this is a work of art here that we're witnessing. And I haven't watched that like a movie that funny in a really long time. It was just such a great, just watch it, and the part that are funny, just they are great. But surprisingly enough, it was a drama that was really intense. You know, that sounds fucking idiotic and completely stupid. It's 100% true, right? It was like such a emotional fucking roller coaster that this like Tommy went through. It was kind of mind blowing to me. Like what he went through, like how he felt, because he's such a unique person. He reacts to things in a very unique way, but in the end he's still a human. He still gets hurt, and this movie did such a great job showing me that. Like it really showed me how some things are just unfair in life, and things happen to you even though you try to be the best person possible, right? It's it's like, you know, sometimes he's too close to, you know, in person, right? Sometimes a bit. Oh, ooh, you got me on that one, right? I just great, funny movie. It showed us like a really interesting character, and in the end, after all he went through, after all the unhappy things that happened to him, unfortunately, all the crazy things, well, goddamn, in the end, he went to the Golden Globes. He stood there. It was like, this is a dream come true for like so many people. But well, I said, okay, I put that one wrongly. This is a dream come true for him that so many people want to, like, see. Like, after all the things that happened to him, in the end, well, things worked out, and goddamn, they did. Well, this one, whatever. Just, I have no words. It's so interesting. I'm like, okay, we will probably, we might know where he comes from and where he got the money, right? Now, do you want to know? Maybe, maybe not. I'm more like, it's so interesting that I might want to know, right? I'm just like, so how did this ever happen? Like, it's so interesting to me. Like, there's like, I'm Tommy. Like, who talks like that? Who talks like that? It's so cool. Such a cool character. Yeah, no, like, if you care like in the slightest about the room, this movie is a must watch. And even if you don't care that much, it's a good drama that is really funny. And the context of the movie isn't that required, right? You don't really need to care about the room to watch this movie and laugh and feel sympathy for this person. You really don't. So they didn't make like something like a documentary about the room. They made a good movie that showed so many interesting things, and for that I commend them, because goddamn, it was such a great movie to watch. And such a wholesome movie. The parts I literally felt sad. I literally felt sad for him. It's so great to actually see this shit. Alright, now, last movie, Coco. The animated movie from Pixar. My god, this movie, it might be one of the best animated movie I have seen in years. Like, were so a lot, but this one might be the best. It was that goddamn good, right? Like, this movie, not only okay, animation, of course, beautiful. The sound design, the music, they sing a lot of songs. They were just great. When it comes to a technical aspect, this movie was just great. All the songs in this like really made you like, if they wanted to make you feel happy, sad, constipated, right? Whatever emotion exists in this world, if this movie wanted you to feel it, it made you feel through the animation and the music. It's just gorgeous, like pitch like perfect, right? But where this really hits hard, it's the story, and my god, it hit hard. Like, this movie didn't hold anything back. It was brutal when it came to like it was way too real. Like, it scared me. It's just so overwhelming. So we follow this Miguel, right? They're in Mexico. It's Dia de los Muertos soon. It's Dia de los Muertos soon, and well, soon it was that day. Not talk bullshit. It was that day, right? And they were preparing for it. And this Miguel's family is they just make shoes because they had a traumatic event where this woman, her husband left her, went to do music stuff, right? And he never returned, and he had to raise his child alone. And from that point, she hates music, so no music in the family, it's prohibited, right? But Miguel, he really loves music. He looks up to this person, De La Cruz, and he's like the greatest singer that the world or like Mexico has ever seen. He's a movie star. He's everything. He's everything you want yourself to be, right? So he has like this guitar, and he does this, and he goes to like a city center, and while he's doing like shoe stuff that he completely hates, he learns about this festival, and he starts going for it, but his family is like, no, no, especially his grandmother. His grandmother is, no, don't you dare get close to music. Like, music, prohibited, and that's how it's gonna always be. What do we do here? Okay, so sorry, I had to try to pull something out of my ass here. So his grandma really hates music, like the most. Right? He also has a grandmother that has, I'm pretty sure, Alzheimer's, and she just forgets everything. Like she barely speaks. All the words that she can mutter is "papa," right? There's and alright, I'm kind of losing track. So that's kind of like the start of this, right? And that's basically. I need to get my shit together because sometimes I start talking about stuff that like, why am I talking about this? I just should be talking about more other things, other aspects of this movie that are a bit more important, right? But since it's Dia de los Muertos, you have to put like a picture or like something like an altar for your family so they can come to the living world and visit you, right? That's the shtick here. And they ripped apart the face of the person who left, so you don't know who he is, right? All the family. And it's Dia de los Muertos. And Miguel, after getting his guitar destroyed by his grandmother, he runs and goes to steal De La Cruz's guitar so he can go to the concert and play, right? So he does that, he goes there, and everybody like gets caught, but he plays the guitar, and then he gets transported into the realm of the dead. And now he's really confused and scared. And goes to, like, while wandering through there, being really scared, he finds his family, his deceased family, right? And he just learns all about this like world that they're living in, how everything's happened, right? And guys, I started really poorly talking about this. So once he learns everything, he finds this person that
You win. I can rest now.
the skeleton, and he's really desperate to get into the living world so he can see his daughter. But the thing is, if you get forgotten in the living world and nobody puts his photo up, you disappear forever, right? And there's a really heartfelt scene with Miguel, the skeleton, and one other skeleton, that when they go to get a guitar so they can get to meet De La Cruz, who's been dead for a long time, have this really heartfelt moment, and the skeleton goes away, and it was really sad, right? You didn't know about anything about the skeleton. You just randomly, just a random person, and it was kind of like, wow, I almost cried to that, and I didn't know who this skeleton was, which is such a heartfelt moment, because his living family is like, they need Miguel needs a blessing from one of his family members, but his family member won't give him a blessing without prohibiting him from playing music, right? So he goes to this skeleton, right? Alright, after doing some investigative work, he realizes De La Cruz is a family member, so they go to De La Cruz. They go to a concert, they play music, right, together. But the skeleton just wants to return him again to his family, right, at this point. And just take his picture and put it on the altar so he can not be forgotten and die. After this, they meet De La Cruz, Miguel, and he realized that after talking with, the name of the skeleton was Hector, right? Hector and De La Cruz were actually partners. And De La Cruz killed Hector and stole his music. And that's how he became. And we find out Hector was actually triple grandfather of Miguel, right? Actually, De La Cruz wasn't the relative, Hector was, right? And it's another really heartfelt moment, and Miguel understanding, like, no, De La Cruz is just a monster. He's not who you think he is. And his triple grandmother finds them. She's really upset at Hector and really hates him for what he did, and explains it to him. And explains to him that he hates music, but they have like this moment where they start singing in front of everybody, and that spark in her comes back, and she starts loving music again. And it sends, like, Hector starts dying because the only person who still remembers him is Coco. That's her name, and she has Alzheimer's, and the only thing she can like say and remember is Papa, like Papa, because that's what she wants to remember. Because when she was a child, Hector kept singing this beautiful song, "Remember Me," to her. It was just a really great song, right? And now when they return back, they return back. Hector starts dying, and I can't remember the triple grandmother's name, but she gives him his blessing without anything, right? Just go back, and because he lost his photo, right? So he can't put Hector's photo up. He needs to put his triple grandmother's photo back because he destroyed it when he came into this realm, the dead realm, the first level dead realm. Because the other two levels, there's another level when you die, you're poof forever. Nobody knows about that one. Right? He returns, has his guitar, and he starts being really emotional because he started loving Hector so much, and really understanding, like, he's a good person. His fate was like a dark one, and what happened to him was unfair, right? And his whole family hated him for it, but he did nothing wrong. He made a mistake leaving his family. Then he wanted to return, but this asshole killed him, right? He returns, he goes to Coco, he's like, please remember his Papa, remember him. But she's just, Hector is dying. Just Miguel is really trying to make Coco remember, and it's so sad. Like, just remember this part, but she can't. She has Alzheimer's, right? So family is like, what are you doing? Stop it! Apologize to her. And she's just Miguel is crying, and it's such a devastating. Like, it'd be like 10 minutes into like from the last scene started. It destroyed you emotionally. This movie destroyed you emotionally. Like, it played with the notion of family is the most important thing. You have to love them how they are and appreciate them, and you follow your dreams. You know, some people may not be happy, and understanding, like, making compromises, right? This was such a strong movie, and of course, even with mental health issues, and just Miguel had Hector's guitar, and he started playing the song that Hector played to Coco. Remember me? Miguel starts singing it. You know, he's saying like, "What are you doing?" He's like sobbing. It's the like your heart is just fucked. It's fucked. You can't handle that. You're no matter who you are, you're gonna be there sobbing. I've cried for 10 minutes straight. Like, not crying like, oh my god, I was sobbing. Like, I was really sad. And then starts singing. And then she starts remembering him. And starts remembering about Hector. And it was, oh my god, it was that moment, like, she just became normal. Her mental health issues went away. And she just remembered everything, and it was the most, my god, it was the most, such a happy moment. It, from tears of sadness, from sobbing, they went to tears of happiness. It was crazy. It was such a crazy moment. Like, I've never experienced this in a movie. It was so amazing, right? I can't recommend this movie more. Like, from all this movie, like, you need to see Coco. It's the best. I will say it. It's the best animated movie I have seen. Period. Like, from what emotional, it was just great. It was completely, wow. It's completely amazing, right? Just can't praise this movie enough. I never cried for 10 minutes straight. It's destroying. Thank you guys, like, listening to me rambling. This was fun. I really need to learn a bit how to structure things when I talk about movies, but hey, still learning. I think that's right. Bye bye.